How's it going, guys? First of all, I'd like to thank you for purchasing my Solemn Design Kit. This is just an Instagram kit that's going to help you with your overall branding of your Instagram profile, and it's going to help you promote your music videos in a more interesting way. Just to get into the contents of the kit, it's going to come with a story template and video templates. Just to show you, they're going to have crap load of just drips and paintbrush smudges, just really nice stuff so you can put your video in them and make them look super sick. I'm going to be showing you some stuff from Oliver Francis. I really mess with this dude heavy. Um, and yeah, to get into the tutorial, we'll just open up one of my examples. All right. I'm pretty pleased with how this came out. Literally, all I did was I just grabbed my template, grabbed a couple pictures, and I put them in there. I resized them and everything. I'll probably do another one where I'll just show you the actual way to do this. Literally all you'll do is you'll just go into the kit. Yeah, let's say I want the ribs first with the shadows. All right. All right, this one's not gonna look as good because it's not as high in resolution, but this is just for tutorial sake. Grab the picture, you find out where you want to put it, where it's going to generally look nice. You won't really know until you right click your layer and hit create clipping mask. Then you're going to see that it's going to bring forth the little texture kind of thing. This is what I do personally. I don't like to make it look too crazy. I keep everything super minimalistic. And we'll just put we'll just keep it the same. Oliver Francis. All right, sick. Keep that white. Okay. Super simple again. Kind of just mess around with it, see where you want to put it. I'm going to leave room for the arrow at the bottom, so I'm not going to put it too close to the bottom. And now I'm going to grab a texture. And the textures are pretty much just like dust or like any kind of dirt. And that's going to be in the add-on textures PSD. And then at this point, I can literally just unhide every layer and see which one I like. I'd say for this picture, I'd use something like this. A little more subtle. You press Control A, Control C, and you just copy that whole layer. Make sure it's selected. And then you just Control V, paste it on there. And there you go. What you could do is you could just lower the opacity. To kind of blend it in. Alright, that looks really nice. And at this point, you would just save it. I can just, yeah, I'll save it. This is just for tutorial purposes because I just overwrote this template. What you want to do is you want to create a copy. Just create copies. Like, don't edit these directly. Make a copy of it so that you never lose them. At this point, what you're going to do is you're just going to open your Premiere. You're going to find out where that template is, and you're just going to drag that in there. Since this is the only thing that we did, it's going to just ask us to merge all the layers. You don't want to do that. You want to hit individual layers, and you just hit OK. It's going to bring forth all the things that we just did on that PSD in Photoshop. And what you want to do is you want to just drag them in. Now you just want to grab the video that you're promoting. In this case, I'm going to be using the Gemini video. And you literally just drag it into your project. What I usually do, instead of dragging it directly into the actual sequence, you're just going to open up the file. You're just gonna double click it. It's gonna bring it to your source menu, or your source video, whatever, and then you're gonna find the best part of the video. I like the beginning. Yeah, like around here. This seems pretty nice. You just find the exact point you want to go to. You can use your arrows to find the exact frame. Then you can hit I. It'll find your in. And then you just hit O for your out. And there you have it. And then I'm just going to drag it up here just so I can make another layer for myself to put it under. All right. So now we have exactly what we want in the preview. We're literally just going to drag these out just so that they can be the same length as the preview of the video. All right. That's 7 digits the mission. Listen, 60 FPS, these other rappers moving slow-mo. I was broke as shit now. If you don't like how it looks or how it fits, all you have to do is you just click on this effect controls, you click on the layer that you want to change. In this case, it's going to be the video, and then you just bring down the scale, or you can click on this little square box and you can do it manually. Make sure the size constraints don't go outside of the video preview, or you're going to get weird black bars on the sides and it's not going to look good. Pull up bitches so vicious, that's 7 digits the mission. Listen, 60 FPS, these other rappers moving slow-mo. I was broke as shit, now I'm tripping, it's a polo. I don't pay for promo. Alright, super sick. And at this point, you can be done, but if you want to make it look a little more nice, or if you want to give it that little bit that you need to finish it, or to give you that finished look, I have these arrows here, and these arrows, I mean, you can go into Photoshop and change the colors yourself, but I pretty much just made black and white, depending on what you're doing. The first 5 are black, or the first 5 are white, and the second 5 are black. You literally just untick them, and you make sure the one that you want is clicked. Drag that in there, and there's your arrow. Now we're just gonna make sure we bring it into the sequence. Okay, so there's our arrow. Obviously, it's not gonna look nice right there. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna drag it down. You can use the box, but I like to keep it aligned in the middle where it starts, and then you just scale it down with the little box, or the handles. Drag it down a little more. I like around 1790. That's where I think it looks pretty nice. Yeah, it looks super nice. And then literally you can leave it like that, but I'd personally animate it. I'd animate the arrow so it looks a little nicer. And to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to click this stopwatch, and you're going to go into you're going to zoom in a little bit just so you can see exactly where you're going to be going. I actually do 100. I can see really close. This is our first keyframe, and then you're just going to go 10 frames up. You can use your keyboard to do this. It's super easy, and it leaves less room for error. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can even just type in 10 here as well. And then you just want to drag it up to where you want it to go. I'll just make it go to the top of this bar. So that's 1653. And then you go another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you bring it back down to 1790, or whatever was your initial start. That one actually might be a little too big. Yeah, it's a little too high. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go to my second keyframe, and I'm just going to bring it down a little bit. Maybe like 1720. Yeah, it looks a little better. And at this point, what you want to do is you want to just make it smooth. You want to make these smooth, so you want it to ease out and ease in. and then we'll just have it ease in again. Alright, so now it looks really smooth. And then you want to go 10 frames again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're just going to drag it to our header, to our play header. And at this point, instead of, just so we can get it super uniform with each other, you're just going to drag, you're going to hold Alt and drag. And just keep dragging. Then you're just going to move your header, get locked onto that, and you're just going to drag it in. It's going to click in, or it's going to lock in, and then you just grab all of them, do it again, and just keep on doing it until you fill it up. There's probably an easier way to do this, but I don't really use Premiere too much, so I don't know that shortcut. Let me just do it one last time. We can get rid of this one, and then we can just chop this one down. Okay. Now we play it back. I just want witness. Pull up bitches so vicious. That's 7 digits the mission. Listen, 60 FPS, these other rappers moving slow mo. I was broke as shit, now I'm tripping. It's a polo. I don't pay for promo. I stay on the low low. I'm the kid who run the game, calling me a moto. Bitch, I'm heaven sent. This is just my genesis. All right, and this pretty much goes for the same thing as far as the regular video template goes. Everything's the same exact thing. I'll still just open that up and look it up. So I did the same exact thing. I found a bunch of different pictures, or the same pictures. I just used both the same pictures for both tutorials, and that's pretty much it. You put your text, you put everything down, you make sure you hit that clipping, the clipping mask, and then it just clips down to this layer that I made for you guys, and you drag everything back into Premiere, and that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching the tutorial. This is my first ever tutorial, so you can probably hear it. My phone's popping right now. But yeah, thanks guys. I really do appreciate you buying this kit and everything that happens after this. Hopefully it works out well, and hopefully this does well.